Hold on to your dookie. It's about to get spooky.
Well, hello, my little snowflakes. Are you ready for today's video? So, today what we're going to be doing is popping out our eyes. So the products you're going to need today are liquid glue or liquid latex of both kinds or any kinds. And you're also going to need some brushes. Which ones? Well, let me get into it, if I can find them. Let's try that again, shall we? So the three brushes you are going to need are one of these little semi-poofy brushes. I don't know the names of them, as I am struggling to speak English. But, yeah, I don't know the names. So you're going to need one of those. A semi-detailed brush. Now, that could be either a fancy brush or a paintbrush. It doesn't matter. I personally love using and prefer using paintbrushes with special effects makeup just because the precision is more... It has more precision, is what I was getting at, you know? And then the third brush you're going to need is an angled brush, right? So an angled brush of any kind, you know? I'm just using a fancy unicorn one, but that's just me. Again, it's not a paintbrush, so that's just what I prefer. Use whichever one. But these three kinds are the three kinds you're going to need for this look. And that is all for the decoration. What I'm going to be using for makeup is the Maron face paint palette, like so. And you can use whatever kind of face paint you want. Like I said, if you're using eyeshadow for any of this, you can definitely use it, but you're going to need to use twice as much because it is a powder and it's not as intense or pigmented. I'm also going to be using a bruise wheel, as per usual, for the scariness. And let me see what we got in my handy dandy little tickle trunk. I will never call that again because, well, I'm not Mr. Dress Up and that was just really creepy. Anyway, we're going to be using the Maron coagulated blood. Again, like I've said in previous videos, if you're making your own, you want to use corn syrup but extra cornstarch in your recipe. I'll put the recipe right down below, actually in the description of this video, just so you know what I'm talking about instead of just going... Great story, Beth. Cool, but can you show me how it works? Thanks. Anyway, you're also going to be using, or needing to use, a textured sponge, like so. Because what we're going to be doing is around the eye, we're going to be making slight scratches, right? Like as if you were like, and pulled out your own eye. So, that being said, what else do we have? Yes, indeed. Color Set Neutralizing Powder from Maron. There we go. Now that's what I use, but like I've said, you can use CoverGirl, LA Colors, any other drugstore brand, any other brand, as long as it's translucent. And lastly, we are going to be needing our latex application sponge and our fake stage blood, which I buy from Maron because... Maron. Actually, I didn't buy this. I totally got this as a Christmas gift, but it is bomb as hell. So there's that. And if you're like me, you also have your own fake blood, which I use literally every time because it's amazing. And that's what I'll be, as my fingers cover it, as I'll be using for decoration purposes. But enough of me talking, unless you've already clicked off. I mean, if you're still watching, bless your soul. Let's get to it. Now, like I've said before, you can use liquid latex or you can use liquid glue for both. And I'm going to just apply some liquid latex to my little sponge, like so. And let's place my little eye over, and we'll just apply the liquid latex over top and onto the skin. As I didn't get on any of the skin, I'm going to have to do that again because I'm a genius. Yay. Tragedy has already struck. Okay, so now that our eye is completely dry, I'm going to take a brush filled with translucent setting powder and just set around where the latex was to remove the shine. You know, while I'm doing this, I kind of low-key feel like the lady with the eye patch from Kill Bill, you know? So as you can see with the liquid latex I've applied, there are some little holes and tears. Don't worry so much about that because it will really add to the effect and the realism of when we're decorating said eye. So don't worry about too much of the little details because when it's a bigger picture, it'll look more like torn skin, which is going to be a lot of fun to play with. So speaking of playing, what we're now going to do is grab this brush right here, our semi-poofy brush, and I'm going to be opening up the Maron palette, face paint palette, and we're going to grab the black color for that. And we're going to just generously, as I'm staring at the palette, coat the brush like so. You can barely see it. And we're just going to go around the eye, and we're going to cover the eye like a little eye patch. Okay, so now our eye is covered in and we're looking really spooky. Don't worry about the white specks so much because that's where we're going to add our bruise wheel. But before we do that, it's going to get a little bit more complicated. And you're like, Beth, but how? Look at all of our hard work. I know. But now comes the fun part. And don't be stupid like me and be like, ooh, because now we're going to poke our eyes out. But don't use scissors. Don't use anything like overly sharp. Why? Because it's your eye and it's important. You silly. So I'm going to be using the pointed end of my makeup brush. And we're just going to create a little hole right in the center of the eye. Okay, so now that we've whittled a little bit of a hole in the eye, what we're going to want to do is tear it open. Now, I'll warn you right now, if you're squeamish, shouldn't have clicked on the video. But hey, let's get ripping, shall we? Okay, so now that our eyes are peeled open, what a sentence. What we're going to want to grab now, and what I suggest, is not using liquid latex for this, and it's using the liquid glue, because the ammonia around your eye, it's just going to make it water like crazy, and it's really hella dangerous, because nobody should be putting ammonia that close to their eyes, unless you're like severely professional, and even then you're probably professional enough to know that that's really stupid. So, we're going to be applying the liquid glue around these parts of the white of our eye. Why? Because then that way we got to dry it, and then we can just add more black around the eyes and in here. Okay, so now that we're totally dry, we grab our face painting palette once again, and let's paint, shall we? That was cringy. Now comes my very favorite part, the details. And what you're going to need is your medium detailed brush. And let's grab our handy dandy bruise wheel. And with that, we are going to be starting with the color red on the bruise wheel. And we're going to be going in the patches of our face that are too light that the black paint did not get. Again, if you're using eyeshadow, you're going to have to use twice as much as what I've used. Okay, so now we're going to grab our edge brush, and if you have a very detailed brush, and we're going to open up the Marron coagulated blood, and all where it's brown and looks kind of like poop on our face, that's where we're going to add the blood. So let's get into that, add a little generous dippy dip, and let's play. Okay, so now that this is all looking kind of creepy, we're going to take our textured brush, like so, and dip it in our fake blood, the runnier blood, not the coagulated. I'm just going to give a little boop. And right around here where all the face paint is, it's very bright red, but we're going to blend it in. I'll show you. And there you guys have it, the gouged out eye look. Shall we do a photo shoot? Oh, I think we should. Well, everyone, that includes today's video. And I don't know why I just addressed you all as if I was a teacher. Teacher. Good God. Okay. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Let me know what was your favorite part of this video. And if you're not a fan of gore makeup, make sure to let me know down in the comments, okay? Until next time, and cut!